And the Azimio la Umoja One Kenya coalition has affirmed that Tuesday's anti-government protests are on, despite the police declaring that the protests are not allowed.
The opposition says the move by the police is akin to suspension of the Constitution, which they said provides for the right of assembly and protests. The leaders accused the Kenya Kwanza administration of eroding constitutional gains. Ayub Abdikadir with the details of the opposition's response to the government.
A church service at the Cathedral of Praise Ministries International in Embakasi South provided the Azimio la Umoja leadership with a platform in responding to the government over Tuesday's planned anti-government protests.
Demonstrations, peaceful demonstrations must be allowed. And I want to say that it is the police, a section of the police, who introduce violence.
Let us not have Bungei suspending the Constitution in your name. Mr. William Ruto, you'll be a great leader if you listen to your senior brother.
We never asked for your permission, the police, to demonstrate. And under the new constitution, we don't need the permission of any person. Any person.
The Azimio leadership, while accusing the police of violence and using excessive force, said calling off the anti-government protests is dependent on addressing the cost of living crisis, reinstating IEBC's Cherera 4 commissioners, opening the IEBC servers, ending electoral theft, and a stoppage of what the leaders called lawmakers' buyout spree by the government.
Bungei is taking instructions from his commander-in-chief, and he talks of ruthlessness, that he will deal with us ruthlessly. And indeed, they did when we came to Embakasi South.
Azimio leader Raila Odinga issued a 10-point statement accusing the president of trying to overthrow the constitution. In the letter, the opposition leader says, quote, "We remind Honorable Ruto that the powers, responsibilities and functions of a commander-in-chief, which he repeats he is, are clearly spelled out in the constitution and do not include the overthrow of the constitution, which he is attempting to do with attacks on our planned protests." Raila saying the opposition intends to present several petitions. One to the IEBC in order to demand an audit of the servers and against the sacking of the Cherera 4 commissioners. Another petition to the office of the president to prove that the cost of food, fuel, electricity and school fees remain unacceptably high. A petition to the National Treasury for release of funds owed to counties. And another to the Public Service Commission to demand inclusivity in public appointments. The opposition says it will not be cowed into silence and will be holding the protests, even in the face of a showdown with the government. Ayub Abdikadir, Citizen TV, Nairobi.